And the Bamkin.
Oh,
it's a shiny. Get off your hiney, find shiny. Pikachu, and me and you. Squirtle.
Squirtle, dog.
Got Eminem in the house.
Bamkin. Rambling Hamptons. Get off the Corvette. Get off the Dorset. Borset.
Right on, man. Well, welcome to the After Raid Hourz Podcast.
Yo.
We got illustrious OGs.
OGs in the house.
SteviePogo, the god.
What up?
The man, the myth, the legend.
Cory, no longer the mystic god, but still a god.
We gotta talk about that too.
We kind of touched on it, but we never got into it.
I'm here now, bitch.
We got the illustrious JackJack 1620. You might have traded with him at one point in time in life.
I'm sure you have.
And myself, Jay Titan. I run PvP tournaments, and that's about all I do. So,
Jeez, don't say yourself that short.
For real though. Hey, welcome back, guys. It's been a long time.
What's new?
What's going on? What's new with you?
Yeah,
what's new with you?
Finally arrived back to Earth. After
training.
Absence. No, man. I haven't been playing at all. I think I saw you guys for the first time in a long time at the what tournament was that? Was that the Twilight Cup?
Yeah.
No,
Kingdom Cup.
Kingdom Cup. That's how much.
I'm sure you pulled through, and I was like super surprised.
Steve?
Of course, it's hard to miss your ass because you're so fucking tall. But
so I just decided to pull up. The game hasn't even been on my phone.
And get this, you won a couple of matches. Your first ever PvP. Didn't even know what types were allowed in the tournament. He did, unfortunately. He didn't even know what types were allowed in the tournament. You're like, what the fuck am I doing? Wait, is it only Great League type deals? Like, yeah, man, it's Great League.
Right.
You got Fire, Ice, Steel, Dragon. You know, kind of Game of Thrones-esque. Mm-hmm. And shit, you put the team together in the last, 5 minutes, and you ended up, you got 2 wins, right? 2 or 3?
Shout out to Arya for killing.
Yeah.
Arya the Young.
Killing
something. Just fucking killing it, dude. She did everything.
We gotta talk about that too. I mean, I don't watch it, but I, for whatever reason, decided to watch that episode. I got a lot of questions, but we'll talk.
We may discuss it.
But yeah, man, I pulled up the game to show up to the tournament because why not?
Because you're bringing the smoke, dude. Bringing
the heat, and it was nice to get back into it. I was looking at my Pokedex and my storage, and I kind of missed it. And I've just been out of it. Work's been killing me. Got this promotion, so I've been running around doing a lot of covering.
You can attest to that too, Jack, right? Get promoted, do a lot more work.
No, work is just stupid.
Work is dumb.
Yeah.
Work is dumb.
I feel like everyone is almost in the same state of fuckeries getting to an all-time high. And today was a perfect day to go out, get margaritas, unwind, and catch up. Right. So I know I'm thankful for today, especially after work.
For sure. But that's been it, man. Then I've just been working out heavy. And,
right on, brother. You looking good.
Thanks, man. I'm trying to get right. I got about 4 abs. Got 2 more to go.
Oh, you're trying
4
to
abs.
I got 4 decent looking abs.
Oh, you got all the abs.
I got
some of them are a little hidden.
Yeah, man.
I just got a cake.
I
like my cake.
I've got 1 mega abs.
1 mega abs. I like that.
The best ab.
I like
it's
that.
The best ab.
All right, but that's it. I'm gonna try to get back into it a little bit more now that it's warm and. I see there's a bunch of events, so I probably need to catch up.
I mean, we got community days. I got tournaments on tournaments.
Then
Go Fest. Later on, we got the Lure Luau happening.
Yes.
We'll get into that in a little bit.
I don't miss none of that though, really.
You don't miss
us. I miss you guys.
We see that.
Go Fest.
Did you like the tournament though?
The tournament was fun.
Then we got more of that. That's all I'm saying.
I did like the tournament. So
gives a little bit of a different edge.
Yeah. But that's been me for the last few months, so I don't know anybody in the community anymore outside of you guys.
Right on. Well, we got young Carithra. What's up with you?
Not much, man. Just working lots.
Doing
my own thing, and
that's it.
Still not caring about any of these raid bosses, so you might not
for real. All right, we'll get into that in a second.
You like the weight trio?
I was pissed that they added the Lake Trio to the raids.
It was whack. They should have just
I thought it was beautiful. So have you caught up to that?
I mean, I still pay attention to Discord and everything, so I see that. What level raids are they? 5? They're
the legendaries for this month, but it pissed me off to no end because they had released them out in the wild. And they're regional, right? So it's like, I don't remember which ones. Azelf is the Americas and Greenland. Whichever one is like Europe, and then the other one's
Europe is
APAC.
Miss Spirit or whatever.
Miss Spirit, and then Uxie is APAC, or
is Asia.
Yeah, Asia Pacific.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I thought it was awesome that they released him in the wild. I was like, shit, we got legendaries in the wild. They should have done that with the legendary.
More rare than unknowns.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yes.
They should have done that with the legendary beasts / dogs to begin with.
So they did raid bosses for these little fuckers, and then they did wild. So they're still
other way around. They released them in the wild first, and they're still out in the wild.
Just super rare.
But then I guess people complained enough. I mean, they only spawn near bodies of water, and they are more rare than unknown.
Okay.
But they do spawn in the wild, which I think makes it more interesting. That holy shit, that person actually caught one.
Yeah.
And so I guess if you catch it in the wild, you might be able to use a Pokeball to distinguish it between a raid boss. But even then, whack.
The raid boss ones are hard as fuck to catch. Like I did a few raids of it. Yeah, they're hard. Like I think I caught 1 out of like 6. I was really upset.
But I'm upset that you had the 6 opportunities to even try to catch it in a raid.
Exactly.
That's my point.
How rare are these eggs popping up?
Oh, they're the legendary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similar to.
I'm not.
Get your head in the game.
Get on it.
Come on.
Similar to having the Origin Foreign Giratina last month.
Right.
And in the past, it's just, like I said, it's the featured monthly raid. Now they did keep it regional, so you can only get Azelf in the Americas via raids. You only get Mesprit in like Europe, and only Uxie in Asian Pacific.
Okay. Yeah, so they'll probably do the rotation, just like they did before with like Latias and all that.
And the dogs, right? Did they do that with the dogs too?
They rotate them, yeah. Which. Okay, but I still would rather them and Lugia and Ho to get the fuck out of my research boxes and in the wild.
Right.
Like, please, for the love of God.
Set Lugia free.
Like, I just hope for these late bosses that they, we only get this one here.
Yeah.
And, we have to actually network and figure out a way to trade with somebody to get those other ones.
Yeah.
No more handouts.
Please.
Well, I don't know if Niantic will listen to that. They're going to hand out just like with Sonic and them doing the remodel for Sonic. I feel if enough people complain about it, I think that's why I think they came to the raids.
Yeah,
because people were like, I don't see them and I know they're out. I'm like, give us some time.
And I understand in like some of the smaller communities or like the more rural communities, they won't have access to them.
But they could have always done another random pointless event, like a rain dance event, and had them everywhere. They could have easily done something like that, but they didn't need to throw it into the raids.
So people are still entitled, is what you're saying?
Oh, that will never change. Welcome to America.
They're even more entitled. Let's be real here.
Yeah, like that's America.
Actually, we can get into that in a little bit too, because I had a player approach me explaining why they're leaving the game entirely.
Okay.
A lot of it had to do with entitlement and over competitiveness about certain aspects. But anyway, we're still on the raid topic though. Like, I thought Niantic did amazing, and then like you said, all year, like they're doing these trials, right? They're trying new things. I was like, shit, we have legendaries in the wild. That's fucking sick. Let Regigigas be the monthly raid.
That would have been amazing,
or something like that. But then they're like, we gotta make sure everyone's included. Which again, being included is awesome. But I feel like they took something great and they just watered the shit out of it. Like, they watered it down and they made it less cool.
Like, it would have been better, I feel, if it was just like the Zapdos raid days or like Articuno, where it was just like you had 3 hours and they were around, and you just go on a catching spree, and then they continued with Giratina or brought in Regigigas.
Yeah.
Or something like that, because there's so many fucking legendaries in this gen.
Oh, Gen 4 is
like, it just makes no sense for them to just kind of waste their time on the lake spirits or guardians, whatever you call them. Granted, they're cool little guys, but I feel like I wanted to see them actually utilize the in the wild feature more, Because I think it would entice the game more.
Yeah.
Just like when the unknown popped up in the apartments near us and like everyone flooded it. Imagine it for one of the lake spirits if it showed up like by L&L or by at the Aurora Public Library or off of Colfax and just see people swarm.
Right, and you see it like with we're coordinating. So for those that didn't know, Aurora Masters got selected to host the regional invitational for the Sylph League Arena, which is exciting in and of itself. We're the only tournament within like 200 miles of anywhere. Like the next closest is like Salt Lake City, and then you have Kansas City, and you have somewhere in South Dakota. Those only have like 8 people. One has 3. Another one has like maybe 10 people. We already have 13 plus,
So
and I know we have more.
Major props to Justin and Jack here.
Yay!
Coordinated a lot of this, and there's a lot of people that you might not really participate in PvP all that much, but there's a lot of people who take this really seriously, and
it's a lot
we're
of fun.
the only group that got picked here in the state, in multiple states.
Yeah.
We said it a million times. This is the best
might not,
fucking community.
It might not sound all that important, but people are paying attention, and this is awesome.
Well,
this is awesome. This is a real accomplishment. So
then also shout out to like Heroes as well for hosting us, and
we have a local dive bar that's badass for helping us out.
They're amazing. Like the free of charge. They just know that we drum up business, and their staff is super sweet. They bring out the food super quick, and they handle all of our craziness, jumping around tables, and they still keep us in line. And I definitely appreciate that. And like when others come out, because the last tournament we had with Kingdom
Cup was insane. Yeah,
was I feel a great turnout. Like I actually had to back out from the tournament simply just because they had 20, and I was like, I don't want to be the odd 21.
We wanted numbers to be even.
Yeah, so I'll back out for stuff like that. But I'm glad to hop in if need be. And like that tournament was awesome, and we had people. Felipe, who came up from Florida, who was moving to Utah. Yeah, he came up, and then he kicked ass. Like, congrats, dude. And then we had like Glendale folks. He's alright.
He's only like top 150 cool. in the world or whatever.
103, right at that moment.
Yeah, that's so weird. But like, I enjoyed that, and I'm glad like Steve, you're able to come up and see that.
Right.
Even just first time around, obviously you got to see kind of the environment. So
right,
you're like, we're just pretty much kickback. We're all just hanging out, eating food, drinking,
it's a good time,
having fun. And I feel that's something this game desperately needs, and maybe the kid who's leaving should try to tap into before he goes.
Right, and I was trying to encourage him. I was like, hey, you should come out to like some of these PvP tournaments. It's a little different. Well, before we get into that real quick, when we're organizing, this is kind of to your point before we started talking about it, but you know how people flocked to that unknown?
Yes.
Same thing happened. Like FOCO, Fort Collins, had an unknown yesterday or the day before. And a bunch of people flocked to it. They coordinated to it. That's what I like to see. I like to see all that kind of shit. One of these other communities that got a regional invitational, they had, I think it was in Europe, the Mess Spirit or whatever, spawned in their community. And he was like, we had like 45 to 50 cars show up like immediately.
That's scary.
So go catch that. And it's like, that never happens anymore. That kind of like excitement about a certain Pokemon or spawn or whatever, that kind of stuff just doesn't really happen anymore. And I think that was some of the brighter moments of the game when we first started playing. Like,
that's true.
We loved that shit. So I thought that was really interesting, and I'd love for more opportunities for that kind of thing to happen.
No, you're right. It kind of brings back the nostalgia of I'm going to go catch them all, and something rare just shows up.
Yeah.
That you never typically see. So like seeing a Blissey in the wild when they first showed, like,
well, gnarly, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the first legendary raids when Articuno first showed up, and we had enemy gym holders meeting face to face to take it on. Well, tension was so high back then. True. Now, like, these kids don't even know who are just joining the party. Like, the tensions and fights that ensued back in the day that formed the community that is Aurora Masters and such.
Blood, sweat, and tears, man.
Yeah,
there was a lot.
Yeah, like people were like fighting. There was crowbars. There was a lot of good stuff, and I feel like we've come out of that pretty well. But again, what's enticing us now, I think, is what I have to question. Because especially with the kid leaving, like
and so I'll get into that here, and I'm just gonna leave him unnamed for now. But he did reach out to me. I guess I'm really happy he did. I'm sad to see him go.
On Discord or what?
Yeah, on Discord. He just direct messaged me, and he was like, "Hey, I'm reaching out. I want to let you know." I will say he was one of the people that we promoted to executive, which we horribly underutilize.
What's that mean?
So executive is one of our ranks on Discord, right? But like they're kind of like in between mod and regular people, and they're kind of like in between regular people. Plebeians, scrubs. No, really.
The egg. I think I'm one of those.
Yeah,
you're one of
I'm an executive.
That's my point. Right. We don't really utilize the role. No, they've done great things. They help out a lot. Right. Initially, we're like, hey, could you guys help with the spread of information and really kind of help guide people through? And like they do it when they're approached, but most of the time people are just like, fuck that lead. Can you help us? And I don't mind that. That's what we're there for. But I think we could utilize that role better. But anyway, I will say he was an executive, but he approached me and he's like, hey, I'm going to be leaving Aurora Masters. I love the community. I love the community aspect of it. You guys are great. But I'm leaving the game as a whole entirely. And so I was really curious to that point. And so he had really good things to say about Aurora Masters. I was like, okay, at least we're not pushing him out. Like he doesn't feel
you're not like Ada and you're shaming me.
Right? He doesn't feel shitty about being in our community. So I guess we're doing something right? But he's talking about leaving the game. And so first and foremost, he is one of the few players, or not few, there's a lot of them, but he's one of the players that started out when the game first came out. Okay. So he reminisced, we talked about it at length, but he reminisced about the old gym system, actually having to coordinate that, build up your gyms, fight and actually defend them. Prestige your gyms, stuff like that. So he talked about that. He loved the community aspect at the beginning, everyone getting together to do stuff like that, raiding, everyone getting together. He now feels the game is just almost hyper competitive in the sense that like people are starting to get a lot more toxic about things. So gyms, my impression is he doesn't spend a lot of money on coins in the game, so he uses gyms for his coin economy. Okay. And lately, any gyms he's trying to get in the area, most people are either A, trying to get their gold badge on it, which you got to fight for that, or B, they feel entitled to the gym. So the gym's like outside or it's like close to someone's house, and they're like, no, that's my fucking gym. And they'll do whatever they can. They'll just be like horribly annoying when it comes to pushing.
But it's their
out.
Gym, though.
Apparently it is. Like things like that. So he kept feeling like more or less pushed. Now he'll still fight and he still tries to coordinate with people to help with gymming, but he felt like in order to secure his coins he had to keep venturing further and further and further out of like Aurora and everything like that to get his gyms, to get his coins, because that's the only way. And then it comes with that he used his coins for like raid passes. So and we've talked about another point on this podcast, when Lugia first was able to be shiny, some people, he was one of the people, he hit like 50 of them before he finally found his first shiny, which is heartbreaking. He wanted to help his buddy out, turned his buddy's phone on, did a Lugia raid, first one was shiny. So he felt like that's a kick in the nuts. He just spent all of his coins and everything on those raid passes to get that shiny, and his buddy got it on the first time. Now, again, we've talked at length, the game doesn't really owe you anything. It is RNG based. Raid passes, they're going to cost coins no matter what. And, it's kind of the luck of the draw there. Just raid with me and you'll get a shiny. No, but really, though... I felt this point. Like, he just felt defeated there. On top of that, after doing 50 plus raids for the shiny Lugia, where you felt even more kicked in the balls, was the fact that Lugia keeps coming out. How many times
has now returned to the sea? Let it stay there for like a year.
And not only did it come out in raids like 3 more times or 2 more times after that, it's been in our boxes, our research breakthrough boxes all year.
Yeah.
And like, I understand, like, you want to have people get an opportunity to get those, but it's just obnoxious. Like, I'd also be sick of seeing Lugia. But like, if I worked really hard for these coins, finally got my shiny, and like felt something, like I had something, or earned something, or I finally got my prize. Right. All of a sudden, there's every opportunity under the sun to keep getting more and more and more of them. So that leads into the next point where he feels like Pokemon Go is more of a cash grab than it is adhering to kind of the spirit of what it was promised or what they wanted to do when it first came out, which was community, getting out there, being social, getting out there.
So he's totally right. I know this guy, awesome dude, smart dude. Sad to see him go, but he's totally right. This is a large reason why you don't see me around the community very much anymore. And I think the only difference between somebody like him and somebody like me is I'm probably a little bit more invested in all of this, but I totally get it.
Yeah. And so I thought that was heartbreaking because, like you said, he's a great guy. He's done great things. He's really helpful. And his points are very valid. And so I explained it to him. Like, one of the reasons I love putting on these PvP tournaments, and helping them on at the very least, is that's a part of the community that Niantic can't really get their fucking hands on or ruin with their cash grab.
I mean, that's like, we can't expect Niantic to build the community. That's on us. Like,
yes, that completely is on us.
Yes, this is a cash grab. If I was the owner of Niantic, I would probably admit that. Like,
they make a lot of money, like, and they're going to keep making money. And then they saw how
big it is, so I don't know. I mean, he's right, and that sucks that he's left. But also, realistically,
I mean, with any free-to-game or freemium, whatever they call that model, with any sort of game like that's going to happen. Microtransactions are going to be a big thing. Right. Niantic makes a ton of money on Pokemon Go. They're going to make more money when Harry Potter and shit comes out. And it's not like they're going to slow down on that anytime soon. Because they'll keep trickling out things that keep people playing, which on one hand is fine for their business model. We're going to keep wanting more and more, and eventually we'll get certain things, like I said. Random roaming legendaries or legendaries in the wild. I would love that. I love that. They are still in the wild. They're just in raids too, which is easy money for Niantic. So
it just sucks though, because I feel like there's lots of people, and I'm glad at least he announced it, at least and communicated something to you. Yeah. Because I know for me personally, and I don't know how it is for other trainers, like Cory, like you have a lot of best friends, and you were really diligent about making best friends back in the day when friending first came out. But I know nowadays when I look at my friending list, it's like I just see the ghosts of unopened gifts. I see people with that there's no little arrows saying I've sent them a gift, but I click them, it's like they still haven't opened it, and I'm like, what's happening? And there's many really really good players who just kind of fall into the wayside. And it's just the game is definitely losing some of its appeal because, again, it all depends on what's driving you. If you needed outside influence to drive you, you might be kind of throwing in the towel soon because it's definitely not coming from Niantic. Yeah. You have to find your own kind of drive in the game. I joked about Skip and his determination to get some of his goals, but his goals are pretty incredible, getting all of his Pokemon from all the gens up to level 40. Every single one. Caterpies, like basics to the strongest. And I'm like, god damn, like that dedication, and he grinds constantly. Like, I don't know when he sleeps, but I'm like, it's what he likes in the game, and I think it's better than doing drugs. Like, at least he's doing something that gets him engaged and gets him active with other people. So kudos to you, Skip. But a lot of people don't have that kind of drive or willpower to find something in the game to make it unique to them, to keep them going. Like for me, I like looking for like my certain shinies, and then I like trading because I like coordinating and doing all that stuff. And then with GoFest, I think that's going to be a new experience as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But a lot of people, and then obviously I like working with the community, so that's like one thing I look forward to every month. Like even my coworkers at my job know, oh, your Pokemon thing's coming up this weekend, isn't it? I'm like, yep, I'm gonna be busy all weekend. We're gonna be fundraising. We're gonna do all this, and we're gonna go get dinner, and it's gonna be a blast. But again, I made the game something unique for me, and other players, I don't think, if they want to keep playing the game but just haven't figured out what to do, that's the best way, is to find out something to make it unique for themselves.
So the moral of the story here is that only you can prevent forest fires.
Thank you. You right. Thank you, Cory, for that.
You're not wrong. But really, though, you're not wrong. I mean,
yes.
Guys, please don't
start fires. Don't get mad at exes and burn letters in the woods. Like, don't.
Yeah,
that's
keep
some dumb shit.
those Arcanines and Charmanders at bay, please.
Yes.
But really, though, the game is, you have to, like you were talking about, Steve, you have to make the game something more worthwhile to you.
Right.
Mine is camaraderie, friends, community. I'm not out there hyper hunting for anything anymore.
Right.
Sure, I love it when I can get new dex entries, and I love new shinies, but I'm one of those, like, the shiny will come to me when it comes to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not worried if I don't get it, but because I'm going to still play the game for different reasons.
Sorry for the background noise. The dogs with us are having a lot of fun.
Those aren't dogs, those are...
They're the fur children. The fur babies.
Fur children.
different direction with that. I like it. I'll take it.
The furry babies.
But really, though, my recommendation to all of you guys out there, especially if you're experienced burnout or whatever, if you're just discouraged from wanting to play the game, find something interesting to get into. I recommend, personally, come out to these PvP tournaments. You don't even have to be fucking good at PvP.
You could be out of the game for a couple of weeks, and then you just show up unannounced,
and get a couple wins in your
but really, though, like, come out, and like, you don't have to participate. You can watch.
You can join me, eat some pizza.
You could always help me judge. If you like judging, you want power, you want to be able to...
You want to judge someone else?
Yeah.
Do it.
There's a lot of things, and I'm always welcoming help if you guys want to help. But I encourage you to just come out to one of these PvP tournaments, whether that's regionals, whether that's our Ultra League, Boulder Cup Redux, whether that's Nightmare Cup coming up this month. I have a lot of tournaments.
Yeah,
come out to one of these events, because it's a different experience for our community.
Right.
It's not quite a community day. It's not quite whatever random raid days or whatever. Just find something that makes the game enjoyable.
You know what I like about it too is because even with community days or raid days or whatever, I guess you can go with a group of people, but you're still kind of isolated in a sense. But with this PvP stuff, there's a little bit more human interaction, and then you can kind of tell. You could tell who's still awkward as fuck. Like some people I was battling.
Yeah, that's me, man.
They're still suck at talking to human beings, but it's okay. It's okay.
They have to learn.
But they're there, and they're interacting with
outside of a
more than us, like singularly. Like, well, I've got 30 bag ons.
Right. So it's
Jack.
What?
That's real cool. And kind of go back to what you said with finding whatever you need to find in the game.
Those cheeks.
You could get those cheeks. Maybe I should put like some like bad bitch Pokemon in the game.
Bad bitch Pokemon?
Bad bitch Pokemon.
Get them yeeks.
Some bad bitch Pokies. Oh, damn.
Whoa.
That sound effect
is that our
came from nowhere.
problematic noise? Is that what we're using now?
He's like, maybe.
Bad bitch alert.
God.
We need a fucking soundboard.
We do. Desperately.
Fuck, I forgot what I was talking about. Okay.
Talking about bad bitches. Adding.
This game came out in 2016. So
it's our third year coming up in
July, right? It's a long ass time.
Yeah,
it's a long ass time doing the same thing essentially. Like, yes, we've added Pokemon and we've added trading and battling, but
now we gotta add megas. We gotta add breeding.
Right, and so
breeding would be insane.
It's a long ass time to be doing the same shit. So I can understand the burnout, the tap out, the moving on. from the game. Essentially, that's what I've kind of done. In a sense, I still play it every now and then, but I can understand it. It's 3 years is a long time to be doing the same thing.
100%
for adults, especially, you know. And so,
especially when at the core, like you said, nothing's changed.
Yeah, you know. And so,
there's some nice new flashy things that they've done on top,
right?
And there's still time for Niantic to come out with a lot of things.
We'll just listen to our podcast for ideas,
right?
Just saying.
Come on, Niantic.
Niantic, just hire us, dog.
Like, you don't even got to chip us off those billions you got.
Okay, I was going to say, you like billions? Have you heard of trillions? We got you.
We got you. Bags on bags on bags.
Get that bread, dog. But yeah, you got anything on that, right?
No, you guys got it.
All right.
He's like, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Was that fucking Corona commercial, Find Your Beach or whatever? Get your bad bitch.
Get your bad beach.
Get your bad beach.
Yeah, and there's like just different areas of the game that could definitely be better utilized.
Use the quest system for the love of
like I think quests like with Mew, with Celebi, like they were cool quests, and like I remember for Mew, we were like so gun ho to knock that out, and then Celebi, you're like more nonchalant. But I like those things, and it could be just for other Pokemon too. It doesn't have to be just the legendaries. It could be things for like these mythicals or like the late guardians and things of that nature. Something to just break up the monotony of just going to a raid.
Yeah. To Steve's point, you know, we have to make it ourselves essentially, right?
Right.
And we've talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
What if we made our own quest line?
Well, we could. The only like
wait. Elaborate on that. What do you mean?
So I'm just thinking, just from logistics, just because of programs I've hosted statewide. The only thing would be the honor system.
Okay.
And how would you track it?
We just have to be smart about it.
Yeah.
So maybe like the first step is catch so-and-so Pokemon, catch these Pokemon, or this many types of whatever. So we'd have to check, you know, come with us, come to a lead or something, check it. All right, you caught this on May 2nd and May 3rd, and, you know, we started the event on the May 1st, and it ends on May 18th. Okay. So any time in between that, you can do this quest. If you come check us in, we'll give you a checkpoint, whether that's we give you a prize, whether we give you something to mark that off, or whatever. You move on to the next quest. Next quest might be something completely different. Something that we'd have to kind of, you know, make it around stuff that we can check. So whether it's journals or gyms or whatever you've visited or caught recently, you know, we're a little bit limited in that sense.
Right.
But eventually, like, one quest step might be find and beat 4 leads or executives.
Okay.
So you go and like you PvP, and we're like, okay, if it's an executive, it could be Great or Ultra. Mm-hmm. If it's a lead, it has to be Master.
Okay.
Or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not quite sure, but either way, that's a different step. And then, like, at the very end of the quest step, we can come up with some kind of special prize, whether that's like a 3D printed medallion, pin, or if that's actually, you know, if there's something a little bit better on the line, we can think about that. Cards, you know, stuff like that.
Cash.
But, you know, something.
Pay my student loans.
Something that I think, like, and we talked about it around Easter, but if you think about it, kind of like a glorified Easter egg hunt, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Something to get the community involved and engaged in something that's not just completely spoon-fed to them, but also not the same monotonous shit.
Right.
Because it'd be fun. I think it'd be really interesting, and we have some bright fucking minds in our community. We can come up with something along those lines. But I know what you're saying, like, the logistics of it all, kind of a nightmare.
Well, I think it all just depends on how you present it.
Okay.
Because it's running through my head right now, where you'd have the mission, you could have like little voids where they have to fill in the blanks of sorts. So a Word document or Excel or a Google Sheet or Google Survey, and they have to submit photos and do all that or show verification.
Yeah.
And then we would be able to review it. And then at the end, we do the final check. Like, we have this, show me this in person. Stuff of that. So if, like, we would have to verify all their screenshots on their phone. It can't just be something that they put on the computer, because we know kids these days know they can do photo manipulation. So I'd have to see proof on your phone and like all that stuff, because we have to do the honor system. But I think it'd be really cool to do like a Aurora Easter egg hunt and do something cool, or do throwbacks to the movies, do missions based on all the movies. There's so many Pokemon movies. Yeah. You could do it or you do it by gens, you do it by the babies, you do it by raids.
Right.
You could do it by the gymming in the local areas. So it's like, what's the gym that has this? Show your Pokemon holding down the gym. Right. Something like that, I think would be really cool to get players a little bit more engaged in that. But then again, the prizes, I think, is where it'd have to be really cool and unique.
So let me ask you guys this. With all the stuff Niantic is doing, I guess, and even with the PvP tournaments, I guess, how many players, like new players, have you seen come out and enjoy the game because of whatever new things Niantic is doing, or the PvP tournaments?
That's a good question, and you might not agree with me, but I would say more. For every player that we're losing, we're gaining 2 more.
Yeah, there's a lot of new players.
There's a lot of new players.
Okay. I didn't know, so I just asked.
And they regularly, like, there's new things that they're invited to try out, and it's kind of funny because, like, sometimes I do wish I could experience things for the first time again. Yeah. You know, it's like, but in that case, like, we have seen a lot. Like, every PvP tournament, we have new people show up. Like, and sometimes they're from, like, they're seasoned, but they're from completely different areas because they've heard of Aurora Masters tournaments, and they're like, well, shit, we want to be part of that. Right. That makes a lot of sense.
It's crazy to me because, you know, there's not many players in Aurora that have done more raids than I have. And I've been out of the raid game for the last maybe 3 months.
It's been a while, yeah.
And I'll pop out every now and then, and it is these completely new groups of people, and they're all talking with each other, chatting it up, like they've formed these social bonds already, and it's a completely new set of players.
The new class.
Yeah, it is. It's cool, you know, as somebody who's been there from the beginning, to see how all this has evolved and
that's dope.
Shifted.
Yeah, that's real dope.
Yeah, and I know, like, even at the community days, like when we were at Wash Park for Bagon and everything, or Bagon, there was players, like one dude came from Hawaii, and he's like, yeah, this is the first one I've done here, and I found your guys' Discord, and I just want to see what this is all about. And I was like, holy crap, like that's awesome. That's cool. Like you sought us out, and there's definitely a lot of players. There's still those little, like, those neighborhood grandmas, and they're like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing on your phones? And they're still like, that's still happening? It's like, like, people still, and like Cory said, there's more and more interest every day. Because I know even my coworkers, like, they think it's just like a silly game, but when I explain, like, my involvement, they're just like, bruh, holy crap, like, you probably play a game too much. I'm like, it's because I found something I truly enjoy within it, which is community service. I've always enjoyed that, and that was one of my goals for the new year and such, was like giving back more to the community. And with each new player, you kind of get a feel for, like, what they like and what they want to do. You still have, like, the like kind of the OG players, like people who've been there, the day one homies, and they're kind of in and out. Then you had, like, the dedicated players that all got busy with work, because work is definitely nonstop. Any adults out there know that is always the case, and it's okay if you can't do Pokemon for a day or two, or a week or 3, because you have, like, priorities with work. You might have kids, you might have multiple jobs. Like, it's not like this economy is getting any better. Like, people have to hustle to basically make it here.
For the love of money.
And, like, people are trying to change things up, like, change their predicaments, so, like, more power to you. But this game should be, hopefully, isn't something stressful. Because there's definitely people that make it stressful, and by bringing some of their outside drama, and obviously I don't, like, want those people around, but they're going to play the game. I just avoid them as much as possible. But I know, like, just like Cory, I know I've been out of the game in the local areas. I think the last raid I went to, the last major one, I think Young Petunia tagged me in. he's just like, Jack, come out. And I was like, yeah, I was like, holy crap, like. And I went out to that raid, and people were just like, where have you been? I'm like, I've been chilling. I've been sleeping, trying to catch up on some Z's, like, because work is no joke. But I don't mind coming out to see some familiar faces, and I like seeing familiar faces at the community days, and I like that people will still come out. And definitely interaction from the podcast as well. Like, I think that's a new thing that started up, and like the Drubuses, they definitely hit me up last time of wanting to help out for the Lure Luau, and I think that's amazing. And I know anyone who has kind of a social Pokemon group should definitely reach out to us, because I've already reserved one of the shelters at the Mission Viejo Park in preparation for this. So if you really want to reach out, if you want to bring food, or if you want to like really promote your Facebook group, you should definitely hit us up, because I think that'd be awesome, just so people could kind of see how vast and diverse our community is, and see what they can join. So, and again, that's just another opportunity. If you thought the community, the Pokemon game was dead here, you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah, it's pretty strong, and I think it's important for us, as community leaders or whatever, to keep it fresh in our community.
Yeah,
and I know that's what we're trying to do. That's why we have events like the Luau. That's why I'm, trying to change it up with these PvP tournaments. Like I said, we're kind of redoing. We're not just sticking to Great League. I know that can be kind of a damper. It's really, it's kind of a struggle sometimes. But we're going to open up. We're going to do Ultra League tournaments for now and try those out. Yeah. Also going to keep doing the Self League Arena stuff too. But I think it's it's important that it's a two-way street, right? Like we keep it open to new players and old players alike. We keep it interesting and we keep it fun, and because it can very easily become stale for a lot of people. Can you
host your own league and then report those results to the SIF League, or no?
You have to.
I'm curious.
What league you want?
Yeah,
I'm just
you want to smoke those?
No. So the way Self League Arena works.
So I know they do their little.
They have their tool.
They have
Self.gg, yeah.
So I can be like, hey, I want to do this on the side. Can we give them notice, and then
you don't even have to do that. So with the tool, you can host any fucking tournament you want.
Oh, okay.
Regardless, what it is when you go and you say you create a tournament. This month you create a tournament.
Okay.
You have a couple of options. It's May, right? So your first option is going to be Nightmare Cup, which is a ranked Nightmare Cup.
Right.
Which means it locks it in. Right now they're all locked into their 1500 league, but we'll get to that in a second. You can do Nightmare Cup, which is a ranked cup. You can do another, it's just called ranked. You can do a ranked cup that doesn't necessarily have to be Nightmare, so you can do ranked.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be like ranked open. We'll call it Open Great League.
Okay.
So that means it's 1500 is your max CP. You can use any Pokemon, no matter what.
Okay.
So there's that opportunity to do ranked. However, when it comes to say the regionals or anything like that, the Nightmare Cup will be weighted heavier.
Okay, yeah.
Say it's 10 times. Now, there are other options. You can opt out of that weighting, and everything's weighted equally, and all this other random shit. There's a lot of math to it.
Right.
But anyway, so you can do Nightmare, you can do ranked, and you can do unranked. So for this, we're going to do a redux of our Boulder Cup. Only this time, we're going to try to do it Ultra League, so 2,500.
Okay.
Just to open it up, it'll be pretty interesting. I'm excited for it. The way I had to do that was I had to do unranked. Okay. Now, eventually, Self's going to develop this tool further. They're going to be able to do custom rule sets. You're going to be able to do teams. So teams of 2, teams of 3. So 3-on-3 battles, like 3 trainers versus 3 trainer battles. That'll be fun. You can do those types of things. You can also do different things. So you can do, I think we're on Swiss style right now is the way we do our brackets.
Okay.
Eventually you'll be able to do single limb, double limb, things like that. So they have to work on that tool on their end. I can't control that. What I can do is, say for this Ultra League, I'm doing an unranked. You have to set it at arena rules. So what I'm telling people to do is just put in a placeholder CP. So even though they're using Rhydon or whatever, or Rhyperior, it'll say 1500 on the app, but they're actually using a 2496 or something like that.
Okay.
So that's one way around that because they haven't developed that part of the tool yet. The other way we can do things is for instance, I think it was our Tempest or Twilight Cup. Okay. Twilight Cup. We had like a 6-way tie for second place.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. So we decided we wanted to run a quick little single limb bracket. Well, the tool doesn't allow us to do that. Okay. We had to run that on our own on a whiteboard and everything like that. So once they get that implemented in the tool, we can do it. But either way, you can run your tournament. So to answer your question, you can technically do a ranked, you don't want this smoke tournament if you want. I don't know how much that'll actually count towards the weighting. But it's possible.
Just for something like something outside of the pressure of being ranked.
Right.
And just to have fun. That's all.
And as we talked about earlier in this podcast, we don't even have to use the Sylph tool. It is handy to make it a little easier for me to just have the matchups set up. Okay. Interestingly enough, they go off of ranking now to set up your matchups in those tournaments, those brackets. Yeah. So if your global rank is higher, you're going to likely be matching against a higher global rank. Okay. So it's bottom heavy in terms of like advancing through the tournament potentially undefeated. Which is nice because it gives people that haven't won a lot in the past opportunities to maybe win a tournament.
It gives those entitled people something not to cry about.
Right, and it gives the people, if you're a higher rank, you're supposed to be good. You need to win those battles anyway to really prove that you're that good, right? I like that. So, I kind of like the way that's set up. But that tool helps me set those brackets up. So it's a lot easier on that end to use it, which is why
Millennial didn't create that tool.
I'm really excited for doing an Ultra League, and my issue with the way that Silk Road's doing it right now is you're only allowed to choose from 3 or 4 types. At Grey League, everybody's using the same 3 or 4 Pokemon for everything. 100%. There's not a whole lot of diversity. There's not a whole lot of strategy into it. Anybody an hour before the event can jump onto Reddit and see what the best 3 or 4 Pokemon are to use, and you're set. Ultra League, you're not going to find that information readily available, and it's going to it'll throw a completely different dynamic that I don't think most people are going to be ready for.
I wholly don't expect to see 1,000 Skarmory at this tournament.
And one of my wish lists for Silk Road, and I might have to do some outreach and see like why this isn't happening, but you're able to choose 6 Pokemon. I think you should have to use all 6 Pokemon.
I like that.
Otherwise, like I said, you're using the same 3 or 4 shit. Everybody's using the same 3 or 4 things, but if you had to choose between 6, and you had to strategically set both of your first 2 lineups to counter whatever the other person's 2 lineups, 2 completely different lineups are going to look like, that takes a lot more strategy.
I agree.
But right now, it's pretty monotonous.
I'm kind of curious, because I was thinking about that the other day. When it comes to, the rule being you have to use all 6 Pokemon, do you think that'd be still viable with best of 3s because you automatically have to set up your first 2 to counter whatever the other first 2 are?
Completely different. If you want to use 2 Skarmories, you have to put 2 different Skarmories in your lineup.
Okay.
Each one is used once. All 6 of your Pokemon in those first 2 rounds have to be used. 3rd round, that's the wild card. You use any 3.
I like that.
Okay, so I was going to ask if you still think it needs to be best of 3, or do you think it should be expanded to say best of 5?
But for those first 2 rounds, you have to use each one of your 6.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't think about that aspect to where you actually have to strategize for the both matches instead of just one, and then play it by ear or whatever. Because I was worried when you first proposed that on a best of 3. I was worried that for whatever reason on the second match they wouldn't say the person gets stomped 2-0. They didn't have an opportunity to really strategize.
And I don't even think you should be able to use the same Pokemon twice. I think it should be 6 completely different Pokemon.
We're gonna try a tournament like that.
And honestly, like I thought when I came to the tournament that you had to run through all 6. I didn't know you could use the same after.
Yeah.
And so my first 2 matches, I was running through all 6.
Oh,
Had
so
I known,
you tell me you could be 4
I
and
could be 4
or...
and 1. I might have been. I might have won. I might have won it. But because I shouldn't have lost my second match to whoever I lost to. Shout out to you.
I can look it up real quick if you really want me to.
Yeah, I don't know, but I shouldn't have lost that match. Had I known,
interesting.
I would, because I think
I really want to try that tournament format.
Yeah.
Because then I played Herb and Cory after that.
You dusted him.
Because I was just like, I'm just gonna keep using my strongest Pokemon. And then I think our games crashed, and I was like, I'm just going with my same lineup and do exactly the same thing I did, and that's what happened. So
okay.
And had I known that, my first 2 matches, like I said, man, I mean, these all would have, could have, ifs,
would have, could have, should
have, yeah.
But you ain't shit, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I lost.
Damn.
No, but
that's a good fucking point, Cory.
I'm now that he's talked about it. Now that he's talked about it out loud, and I've thought about it, that makes a lot. Because again, I was worried in a best of 3, maybe you wouldn't have been able to utilize the strategy. But then I didn't even think about you just actually have the plan for both matches at the same time.
And see, like me, when I first played, I didn't even know you could see the other team.
Oh, in Self League?
Yeah, I had no idea. I was just like, I'm ready to just fight you.
Yeah, people were looking at my squad.
Yeah, and I had people commenting that's a nice squad. I felt like someone was like,
I haven't seen Entei.
Oh, that happened a bunch, yeah.
Fuck, you know what
it kind of made me feel like they were popping over the urinal stall to look at me, and I'm like, what?
Oh, bro, tell me, Steve, this doesn't happen to you in the urinal? Sorry, I got distracted. In the urinal, you feel like, Attack on Titan with the colossal Titan? That's me in every fucking bathroom stall.
Jesus.
Guarantee it. I feel bad because I stand up and I know someone's in that other stall. They just see my whole fucking head.
Bro,
over the
you just eclipse the light in there.
The Pepsi Center bathroom. There's no privacy at all.
Yeah, no.
I'm there one time, bro. This little boy is staring the fuck out of my dick. This little chunky white boy just looking at me.
Is that a shiny Rayquaza?
Stop. It was too much.
Is he human? He was just, I'm like,
I think I just saw the Hulk.
Can I just pee?
Please. Yeah, I can't perform with people watching. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's how I felt with people just being able to see my Pokemon.
Your Pokemon? Right.
Well, for the tournament.
No,
getting back to the topic.
I saw your Pokemon.
Saw everything.
With that, tournament-wise, I'm also... I don't care what you guys really think because I'm doing it anyway, but I'll ask.
Oh, goodness.
No. So for starting with the...
He's like, you think I care about your opinion?
It's bad because I'm wasting trees, but
don't waste trees.
For the regional invitational, I'm starting with the regional invitational. I'll do it for all other tournaments afterward. I'm going to do nameplates. Maybe nameplates won't be necessary for other tournaments because we know each other. Okay. But nameplates, and then I'm going to make a special card. Has your name, your trainer name, yourself and your self name, because sometimes those don't coincide. And then you're gonna have to write out your Pokemon, the CP, and if it has a second move.
I'm sure you're violating some kind of right.
And then we just get a white, a vis-a-vis thing, give them the markers to fill it out, and then we take all the markers.
Because I have to do that for every trainer.
It sounds like every dystopian novel I've ever read.
It does.
I'd have to have
You're cataloging us.
Yes. Cattle. That's what I need. I need it. And I also need TM counts as well, because technically there's a rule. You can't change your moves during the tournament. Anyway,
I'm going to be the uprising against this.
You have to show your count. Show your taxes.
I thought everyone gets their fucking cool card. It'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
No, fuck that.
You know what? Look, fuck all yo. Not Cory. Today, not fuck Cory. He's not disagreeing with me.
He's just giving you shit.
He's not though. Look, he's being Cory.
He just smiles.
He thinks it's a bad idea.
Yeah, probably, but he hasn't.
I just said use a vis-a-vis or something, so you're not wasting paper.
Right, but I need a card for every trainer.
Oh, so you hold on to them?
It's literally for every trainer, and then they hold on to them. So when you sit down, you can see their Pokemon. Okay. You know what? It's just to make my job easier.
Okay, Emperor Snow or whatever his name was in Hunger Games.
Snow.
Right. Well, you don't have to write down the moves.
Snow.
You just have to
down the moves.
Write down the moves.
Yeah, and if somebody calls shenanigans, just be like, hey.
It's like, yo, your card says this Pokemon knows Flamethrower, but you just used Earthquake.
What's up with that?
So, what's up with that? and then you flag me down, and I get to put.
What's the penalty?
I can kick you out. It's easy. I don't care if it's a regional invitational. I will have Steve beat your ass.
Wait, time out. Time out. Don't put me in this. I'm gonna have a lawyer with me when this is so he's gonna be Jewish too, so I'm gonna win.
Jesus. Okay, I don't see any fault. But the point is, I can ban you. I can't do anything else. I would say I'll just delete your fucking Pokemon, but that's probably a violation of rules.
That's a major violation.
Pokemon censorship. This is what this sounds like, right?
Right. I'm not trying to censor you. I'm trying to make my job easier. That's my point.
That's what YouTube said before they started all their fuck shit.
Trash.
Tumblr.
I know, I'm just fucking around. No, that sounds like a great idea.
Tumblr might be bought by Pornhub.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Shut the fuck up.
Pornhub, come through.
I'm not even lying.
So I can type in sex without the 3 now on Tumblr?
Yeah. Well, might be.
You never needed to.
They haven't done it yet. If you want to see porn on Tumblr, you have to type
because remember,
sweet child.
Well,
wait, you know ways to see porn on Tumblr?
Boy, there's so much.
Show me your ways, Jedi Master.
Steps in the right direction.
Right. So the point is, I'm making sheets for every trainer, porn or not.
Porn or not.
And I don't care what you ball bags think, because that's what's happening.
Yeah,
no,
I'm trying to find out how porn on Tumblr works. I don't care about this shit anymore.
It's just all the.
You have a phone, dude. You can look it up right now. Oh, I bet.
Okay. Well, no, I'm eager to see either way how this system goes, because again, Niantic doesn't exactly provide you a framework, and I don't expect them to, because
it's a Sylph thing.
Just because they have so much on their plate and they're trying to handle everything at once, like. That's awesome. Kudos to you, but I think it also falls to each representative tournament host how they want to run their game.
You said Sylph has a lot on their plate?
Well,
Sylph is doing like everything.
They're trying to get their hands into every bit of Pokemon.
I still have that fucking screen with the binoculars on my Sylph app that I'm trying to find out what the fuck that's for.
Because they haven't figured that out yet. That's exactly the point.
They're just calculating.
They have community day shit. They have PvP. They're trying to do shit for like Go Fest and all the other events that Niantic's popping out. They have a ton of research. They go through and they data mine everything.
Yeah.
They have
if any Sylph researchers are listening to this podcast.
And they're
step up the PvP
get in contact with me, please. I got questions.
We got a few here in Colorado.
Preferably on Tumblr.
Hit me on Tumblr. I don't know. I think my Tumblr is Fly Zone.
No 3.
It was back when I was on my gang shit.
Fly Zone?
Fly Zone. No. It's no Fly Zone. It was no Fly Zone. I want to be no Flex Zone, but someone took it.
No Flex?
I wanted no Flex Zone.
Don't let me into my zone.
So I no Fly Zone. No fly shit around me.
Right on. Right on. So, last point. Sylph, I know you got a lot of shit on your plate.
They don't. Stop saying that.
They do.
I don't believe it.
They can always bring in more people.
They can do more, and they need to do more. I do not disagree with that.
I'm in the community lead Sylph Road Discord, and you guys could.
Hey, pups.
You do a lot of great things. We can certainly do better in terms of engaging with everybody else who's part of your community lead group and recruiting more help.
Well, but then also like going on to like what is going on, puppers? They're all riled up, just like I am about this topic.
There's a Sylph agent right outside of
Oh my god, they found us.
Come in, please.
Fight.
I need to talk.
Ready to drop us.
I just think it's also up to, again, the other leaders in the community. And I know we've been doing outreach, trying to like call you guys out. And I don't know all of you, but I definitely want you guys to step your game up. Because I know you, when it came to like, what was the other thing that came up in the Colorado Discord about like setting up parks for the potential
when we're
posting?
trying to submit a Niantic. Okay, have you heard about this? Sorry. Niantic posted something like submit your basically a bunch of shit about your city and your area.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So they can potentially host an event here.
Okay.
Well, we always talk on this fucking podcast about we want more events here.
Yeah.
It's time for us to actually fucking show for it, right? So like, we started talking about, hey, we want to do like say Wash Park or City Park or Cherry Creek State Park, things like that.
Right.
And like, it turned into like it kind of boiled down into like this weird like petty like I own this park. You can go do research at that park. It's like we're all trying to do the same fucking thing here.
Yeah, like people elected themselves as like the caretakers of a whole park. And like, I'm going to handle this one. You go over there, and I got this all to myself. I'll take care of it. It's like, it's not... And I'm glad at least they're taking multiple submissions, because I feel like this is where people... Again, Aurora Masters will probably step up and dominate, like usual. But I would hope others start to step up. Like, I would love to hear...
Lamkin, Aurora Masters.
Shut the fuck up. Oh, yeah.
Masterton.
Or like
asking.
Stop. Or like Glendale folks, like you guys have been coming to tournaments. Like I know you guys have a presence somewhere. You guys could definitely step up. Or the kid that was talking shit about the pins that he got at the recent tournament, you could step up too. I don't know your name.
Pins?
Oh, some kid was talking shit.
Was mad at the pins,
my pins are too small and they have text on them.
Yeah, even though
except for the design is about 10,000 times better.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. I know they can't even take a prize like as a genuine gift.
It's too small.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna
except
talk
for
shit,
it matches literally every other
matches
pin.
your balls, you little butterfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
Pin foot ants.
Pin foot ants.
Is that what he said?
No.
He might as well have.
3 times.
If he would have said that, I would have said, okay, he's a king.
No,
he's not though. So
that's a joke. But like people like that like to talk shit and not step up, like I definitely want you to, because I feel you're gonna talk all the shit you want.
Little bitty pin.
Then why the fuck are you gonna talk?
And it's twice as big as mine.
Big old pin.
That's unnecessary. Compensation much?
BBP.
What?
Big black pin.
There's a white pin.
Oh, big white BWB.
Stop.
That's my favorite on Pornhub when it's like BWC. That doesn't make any sense.
It's the BBD.
You guys, your acronyms. Please stop it.
BBW, BBC, mature. Cocky.
We don't need any more acronyms. As soon as you start talking about porn and Tumblr, I knew it was going to go south really fast.
I'm just saying Pornhub is trying to buy Tumblr.
I think that's amazing.
That's really important for Aurora Masters.
Okay, this is hell off task.
It's not.
This is what I'm about
Jack
to
was
say.
talking about.
What I'm about to say.
I was trying.
Oh, you were saying something?
Let him finish, and then you can say whatever.
Well, no, I'm just hoping that more other trainers step up in other areas.
Step your fucking game
because
up.
Again, I see a lot of the leads who also are on the Colorado Discord. Like they vocalize a lot and lead a lot of stuff because people are like, we should host a mega event. I'm like, that's great. Like, where's the energy? Because you should definitely step up to the plate. I would love you to. Because I know, like, that's why I'm so sour patched about that Squirtle event like a year ago, when
the mega event from last year.
where I made the advertisement and then they're like, can you change the logos on it and put our logo? And I'm like, you didn't even work on this. I was pissed. And then after that, that's where I got like really sour patch kid because I'm like, you had no say in what was on this at all. Yeah. It was just my team, and then you want me to use my graphics and put your shit on it? I'm not okay with that.
People suck. But we love Aurora.
I love Aurora, yes, but others can definitely step your game up. Because I know you guys, like, the kid talking shit about the pins we make. Like, definitely, like, I'm irritated at that. That's annoying. Like, we don't have to make pins. That's just something we do just to kind of give a little bit more oomph to the thing.
Did he take it?
Yeah, I'm sure he still accepted his pin. It's just he went to the other term like, yeah, ours are bigger. But they're also basic as fuck like you.
No.
So, yeah.
When you get a regional invite, then you can go ahead and talk shit.
Thank you, Cory. But yeah, so I really want others to step up to the plate. I know because not all of you are talking shit, and I appreciate you people because you guys have some class. So thank you for that.
I got no class.
But yeah, like, I just want more people to step up because I know this community is vast. We have a lot of skill sets, and the people that want mega events start putting in the effort to make them and not just announce it and wait for someone else to do it. Because I feel a lot of people definitely do that, and Aurora's definitely kind of stepped up over the years to do such things. But Aurora isn't the only city in Colorado. So I definitely want more people to.
A lot of people keep talking shit about Aurora too, but
Oh yeah, they're like, it's ghetto and this. Like, shut the fuck up.
Always is, you're not gonna please everybody.
Oh no,
which is fine.
Not all of you are worth pleasing to start with.
Everybody's community is better than everybody else's community. It's a bunch of silliness.
But we know ours is better. So
but we'll quantify it
try.
for you if you got any questions.
Hey, we got you. We got you.
We'll put down. We'll throw down some science to back it up. So
right on.
We got math.
Well,
we got
I want to see more than words.
Right. So just kind of to round out all this, we do have some events coming up.
We do.
If you want, do you want to talk about Lure Law?
Yes.
Well, time out. Oh wait, Steve had a very important
Is this back
on
to the
topic.
porn?
No.
Okay.
I'm off the porn. I'm gonna figure it out after the podcast. I need to. You guys already talked about this, but
All right, dog.
I'm sure you guys have already talked about this.
Go for it.
Okay, Cory, why? Why'd you switch up? Why'd you switch sets, homie?
Because sometimes you
At
gotta change
the time,
teams.
I was really.
You're in a dark moment?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and no. I was really more interested in fighting gyms, and
Okay.
I thought it would be cool to switch to yellow and just beat up gyms for a year.
Okay.
And I'm sure it'll be fun for the next 8 or 10 months or whatever I got left, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna last very
So
long.
then, when are you
I'll
gonna
go
see the
back.
truth? Valor baby all day. What's up?
Gonna come to the B side.
Probably gonna go to Valor next
That's
year.
what
I'm gonna
I'm talking
switch it
about.
up because I think the whole I'm part of this team and this team's better than that team dialogue is bullshit. I don't give a fuck about it and I don't want to hear it. So
Team anarchy.
I want to be a part of every team and then
That's fair.
and then I might continue switching teams.
The
because it
true
doesn't
team
fucking
harmony.
matter. And,
Okay.
And if you're caught up on that shit, it's time to move on and
Grow the fuck
You
up.
say grow the fuck
I'm
up.
not gonna lie. I
Did you
did say no. Fuck no. I did say this in my head. I was like, anybody who chooses to switch teams is the same person that's gonna make out with another man at a party.
What?
When they're
What are you
drunk.
trying to say?
I just no offense.
He's not done yet.
I just yeah.
Oh, no offense yet.
No offense yet.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with making out with men. I just don't do it.
Just not for you.
Not for me.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out
So
where. I just see like the graph of like no correlation.
The Spanish soap opera lady
It was
looking
like,
at math.
it was like the same dude's like, I'm straight. I'm straight. Da, 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 da,
What is
da.
happening?
So we understand, Steve.
Yeah, at the party, get a couple
bottom
drinks
line,
in.
I don't care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cory.
I'll make out with you.
And if you care,
Sorry.
I feel bad for you because teams don't mean anything here.
No, they don't. They don't even deserve my sympathy.
They really don't. They really don't. I contemplated it, but then I was just like,
So you contemplated making out with a man.
Nah, yeah, I guess. There's a couple men I'd make out
And
with.
so
for
fat.
sure.
Corey's a good looking dude.
There's a couple men that I would 100% make out with, but
You're gonna entice too many people.
We'll find out when he fixes his Tumblr situation.
You're right.
dude,
Or not.
wait, time out. Okay, time out. We're gonna just talk on this briefly. Okay, just real brief. For years,
For years. No fly zone.
you know, like,
where it's at.
like for years, like some random like portrait will pop up on my Tumblr, and I'm like, oh, I like that. Let me find some more. I try to find some more, and it never shows up. And then I look at the tags. I'm like, okay, so they're typing sex, but it's S3X. So I'm like, okay, let me type that.
You were gonna do all that.
You don't.
What do I gotta do?
You really don't.
We will show you the
Okay.
way.
I just look-
Like,
look,
literally just have to
I'm
find
struggling.
other people's Tumblrs that typically post porn. You add them, you go into their friends, you add their friends.
Hold on,
then the bots start
I need
adding
a pen
you.
really quick.
And then from then,
Are you writing
from
this
then
down? Oh, shit.
on, it just keeps going. Even after the big block and people like, this is the end of Tumblr.
yeah, when you follow
No,
one page, your next suggestions.
Smut is still there constantly. Like, I was literally on my Tumblr today and there was
Good old
smut,
smut.
like, within the first 10 posts. And I'm like, yes, queen. And it's just one of those things.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to relate this back to.
Well, either
Oh,
way.
he's channeling
Where are we?
Where are we?
his inner Brock.
Is
Yes.
poking the Misty.
Yeah, there you go.
You know.
And that's where we're gonna end that topic.
Wait, time out. Let's keep this going.
No. We got a different podcast
Did
for
you ever
that.
look at Misty some kind of way?
Well, after Raid Hourz is starting in about 10
Misty
minutes.
was never my type. Her legs were too long.
What?
And those jorts were fucking
She has that
whack.
long. She has that long Taylor Swift back too.
Yeah. Oh shit! The no cheeks.
Jesus.
My man said Misty had no cheeks.
Oh, cakes. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Which is why Ash spent 20 years not chasing that. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry, anybody's listening. I'm not body shaming Misty or
Taylor Swift. That's been a hot topic recently. Her Coachella. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, that was the Billboard.
We'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, we're gonna get back to Pokemon.
Let's talk about like recent events.
So we're gonna do. We got some events coming up. If you want to talk about Lua, or I can do PvP first. It's up to you.
Do PvP.
Right on. Well, because it is more immediate. So we have a couple tournaments this month already. In a couple weekends, I have the regional invitational. It's going to be at Heroes. I want people to start showing up around noon so they can check in, and we'll start the tournament officially around 1.
Now, time out.
Yep.
Regionals are invite only?
Invite only for that tournament, so if you feel left out, don't worry. I got a tournament.
We're left out too.
Yeah, I'm definitely not making that tournament.
Yeah.
But
anybody off the top of your head that you know who's invited?
Fresh.
Oh, fresh like lettuce.
Fresh. Friend of the show.
Valor represent. Turtle Master, he made it.
Okay.
Despite his mystic disdain earlier. And his turtliness. Pitfall, I don't know if you ever met Pitfall. No. Pitfall made it. And there's a few people from like all over the place. So we got Foco, Grand Junction, we have North Glen, Glendale, we have
Denver,
Front Range. No one from Denver, they suck.
No joke, we are the only group in Colorado and the surrounding states that got this.
Yeah, like I'm not even exaggerating when it's
That's
like 200-mile radius.
That is huge. That is huge.
So all the best players around.
That's huge.
And there's some good ones.
All the best players that are using the same 3 Pokemon. Invited to this.
Right. So to counter that, and for our local player base who keeps everything afloat, we got Ultra League Boulder Cup Redux right after.
Right after the regional.
Right after the regional ends, I'm going to do a little prize ceremony for regional. That person, whoever wins regional, gets an automatic invite to Go Fest and their world championship. It'll be pretty cool. Aside from that,
free $20 ticket for winning it all.
Still got to pay.
It's
for
pretty
it.
sexy. Yeah, you gotta get there. But we got, so after that we got this. It's gonna be our first Ultra League Cup, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah.
You get to go up to 2,500 instead of 1,500. People's teams are gonna change drastically. Again, with the first Boulder Cup, everyone just used Skarmory. That was like the thing. Mm-hmm. And it was gnarly. You couldn't beat it unless you had like a Melmetal or something. And even then, it was just a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah. So, we're going up to 2,500. So you got access to a lot of different things, whether it's Groudon or Dialga or whatever.
And that Melmetal is going to be a lot stronger.
Definitely. So that's going to be happening. I'm really excited about that. Pre-registrations are up. I've posted a lot on our Discord. And you can find them on any of the tournament maps via sylph.gg. So you can pre-register. You don't have to have your party set until right before the tournament, but I will ask that you update that on the app before the tournament. After that, about a week later, we're going to be doing our Nightmare Cup. Our Nightmare Cup is the Sylph League Arena Cup for this month. Okay. That's featuring Psychic, Fighting, and Dark Pokemon. Okay. It's also the first tournament that actually has bans. So they banned all legendary and mythicals. They banned Sableye because that shit's busted, and they banned Medicham because that is also busted.
Okay, say it one more time. They banned legendary and mythicals?
Legendary and mythicals.
Okay.
They banned Sableye. And they banned Medicham.
Why?
Medicham, Sableye, when they're maxed out, they fit perfectly in Great League. Okay. It's like a 90% win rate. Those guys, they're busted. Like.
So what? Why ban them?
Because apparently everyone's gonna have. If you have Medicham, if Medicham and Sableye are allowed, every team will be Sableye, Medicham, and it doesn't matter what the third Pokemon is.
Okay. I guess this last one they should have banned
Lucario.
Bastion.
Bastion was fucking me up.
They should have banned Altaria. And then see what people are doing.
Oh, no, Altaria was fucking me up.
Altaria fucked everybody up.
I think I got through Lucario. I wasn't too worried about that. That's what I don't remember. Anyway.
So it's the first official tournament with bands. We can start playing with bands and shit. And I definitely want to play with the six Pokemon team. Yeah. Or you have to use all 6. But we'll get into that. That'll probably be sometime like next month or the month after or something like that. After that, you know, we'll still have like PvP things. So keep your eyes posted on our Discord, Facebook, or wherever we spread the message. And spread the gospel of PvP, of Aurora Masters PvP.
Okay, time out. Let's go back to this.
Right on.
Okay. They banned mythicals.
Yes.
What's the typing on this? Psychic,
dark, and fighting.
Okay.
So the main thing is like, look at Deoxys. Defense form Deoxys
nuts.
Would be nasty in that tournament.
Okay, I get that. Okay, I see. Okay, I get it.
I want to use him though.
I'm trying. Oh man, it's like
it would have been cool.
And it's
look, we can run one without like the bans and watch everyone use the same 3 Pokemon.
So like that goes back to Cory's point, where it's kind of like use all 6.
You have to use all 6, yeah.
Because then I don't like.
Then it wouldn't be so. Then you wouldn't need a ban.
You don't need to ban people. Yeah, right? Like it's kind of.
How are you going to organize your 2 lines?
Right, because it's dope that people who decided to keep a good Medicham or a good Sableye, you know, keep it, and now they can't use it because other people are fucking it up. So I mean,
ironically, there's like, so Sableye was banned, right? And Sableye is really strong. There's another Pokemon in the game right now, and you've probably seen a lot of people walking it. That's just like fucking Sableye.
I haven't had the game, so please tell me.
It's beautiful.
I was trying not to give people.
Everybody's walking.
I got a 90.
I was trying not to give everyone.
That's why. Yeah.
Spiritomb is just like Sableye.
I got a 98 one of those.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, so that's PvP news. I'm really excited for this month. I'm excited for the future of it. We've had more and more people. The last tournament, we had 20 people participate, which is still more than most. Northglenn had 20 as well. Okay. We could have had 26.
Nice.
24, 26 easily. So, like, we're getting more and more people. We're getting more and more people interested, and I think we're just getting better and better, and I really enjoy it. So far, people are enjoying it. They even
Northglenn's getting people that are traveling from all around.
Because they're like,
it's one of the good tournaments in the area.
Yeah.
Aurora has a massive crowd of internal support, and we are starting to attract the crowds from outside the area.
Yeah.
It's only going to continue to grow.
So with that, we do have another exciting event coming up towards the end of summer.
Yes.
I guess, and is July the end of summer? End of July?
Yeah, because school in Colorado will start.
Oh, it's starting early this year. That's right.
Yeah.
It's ending early, but starting early. So we're calling it the Lure Luau, and I also have the You Don't Want This Smoke tournament.
Yes.
There.
You don't want it.
So basically with the Lure Luau, I probably need to make some sort of advertisement within the next 2 weeks to promote it, but also to ask for anyone who wants to kind of register their Pokemon group to potentially like host a table, or even I could share information with you if you want to like rent a shelter or whatever, because a lot of you, like the Pokemon Go Aurora or Poke Extreme folks, are kind of collective Facebook folks, as well as my Facebook page, Festival Plaza, have their own different groups, but there's also other groups in Aurora. I'm not sure if Aurora Sidings is still up and active, but I know there's a few moderators in there who I've kind of worked with just lightly on the past, who I know are awesome folks. And if you guys want to have a table potential or get a shelter and join us for this kind of event, it's mainly an event to spark interest in new players and rejuvenate kind of people's interest in the game. And we plan on like roasting up a full pig. I plan on making Hawaiian food. If you want to bring food, I'm always down for more food.
Yeah.
Mary, if you're listening, we need you.
We need you.
We need you, Mary. And it's just a fun time to get out. Like, we'll have lures going at the nearby stops, but it's a nice place because there's a park if you have kids, so let them play. Parking is good. The site itself is pretty spacious. We bring lots of chairs and tables. Last time when we had the barbecue at Mission Viejo Park, we had around like 60 plus folks show up.
There might be more this time.
It was a great turnout, and that was kind of like, again, a last minute thing that we promoted. And I definitely want more folks to come out to this one, especially just because there's so much happening in Pokemon. There's new attributes we could have, fun tournaments, you could set up trades, you could just meet other trainers, and so forth. So I think it's a great opportunity, a great way just to kind of end the summer on a good note.
Yeah, I really like that. I like being able to have like tables or spots for other communities because, like, you know, Discord isn't the only community. It might be our largest one right now, but like we're definitely, you know, welcoming other communities. And it might not even have to be Pokemon Go. Like maybe there's a Harry Potter thing, who knows, from the Niantic game. But either way, like I definitely invite more communities out. I really like that aspect of it. Yeah, just think about if you were around for our barbecue last year, think about that, but on steroids.
Yeah.
Really
Speaking of steroids, I'm sorry.
What up?
I just wanted to do a quick little announcement. So I mean, guys have been listening, you know, that I've been on my kind of health and fitness tip. I'm trying to figure out ways to incorporate, because I love Pokemon Go, I love working out. I'm trying to think of ways to incorporate the two together. So I want to do things like anybody who's
like a Pogo CrossFit,
you know, like something like something like that.
Please make a Pokemon workout plan based on the gym leader.
I want to get some just some community stuff where those who are physically fit or who are inspiring or aspiring to be physically fit, let's link up, let's get together, let's incorporate some Pokemon stuff into it while we maintain a healthy lifestyle. Because the two can coexist and they should coexist. And I got some things coming up in the works that I'll be announcing soon as far as that goes. But if anybody is looking to join or they have any ideas, please shoot me a message, because it's important to me.
Where should they reach you at?
Reach me on Facebook. I'm Stephen Clements on Facebook, or the After Raid Hourz Facebook page.
Or Tumblr at S3X.
I might have a couple hashtags there.
I hope you see this message, Steve. Hashtag SEX.
For some reason, I got locked out of the After Raid Hourz Twitter, so I got to redo that.
What?
Yeah. I don't know what happened there. So
you didn't want that smoked off.
So just find me on Steve J. Clements on Twitter.
Right on, brother.
Find me, what else? Instagram, Stephen J. Clements. Find me in the streets. Find me with your baby
Don't
moms.
find him in the streets. You don't want that.
Find me with your wife. You can find me anywhere.
Stop.
With your baby moms.
Stop.
I'm hopping up the BM with your BM.
Stop.
You never know what's going on, because I'm in the Blamkins.
Stop.
I got the napkins and I'm drinking Coca-Cola.
Check out that After Raid Hourz mixtape. To be on Spotify soon, TM.
You know it.
And all your favorite music streaming stations.
But seriously though, like I think the two are important to me. I know initially when Pokemon Go first started, we talked about this in the very first podcast, getting out, being healthy was a lot of people's inspiration with the game. So, you know, I'm here to help motivate, help coach, and get better myself. So if anybody's looking to do that as well, please reach out to me, and let's get it going.
And if you can't reach Steve, reach out to us, and we'll try to reach out to Steve.
Like I said, text your girlfriend. I might be with her too.
Steve, you should also make like a fun workout challenge thing.
Let's do it.
Like, do something to where it's like, get to the top of this and take a picture with your Pokemon and these kind of athletic spots.
I like that.
So, like, the whole stair thing at, like, Red Rocks, like, climb up this, take your picture with your Pokemon here.
I like that. How's service at Red Rocks? I heard people
It's pretty good. Okay. I've fought the gym there plenty of times during concerts.
Nice. Right.
So, but I think that'd be a cool one. Like, that'd be something I'd want to incorporate. Make something for Aurora, but also make something for, like, the greater Denver like metro area. Or
let's rock. Wow. That's coming down the pipeline. Hopefully by end of July, I'll have my personal trainer's license then. And,
hey, soon TM, baby.
You know it.
All right, you got anything, Cory?
That's it.
Oh, his eyes are so dreamy. Corethra out.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, Steve. Glad to have you guys back on.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It's been nice.
Now we got to hit Tumblr. Was you got anything, Jack?
Oh my God. Stop.
Oh, the ghost comes back.
We don't need that.
Did I hear something?
At all.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I got chills though.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything.
I thought I heard something.
Oh, you didn't hear anything. Oh, okay.
Instinct over here!
Oh, what a classic. What a banger. That's also on the mixtape. I want you to know. This is a whole fucking 10-minute song.
I'm just kidding. That'd be so gross.
Yeah, well, it's going to be everyone's favorite track, I guarantee
it. It has to be. If Blueface and Old Town Road could make
Old Town Road's amazing.
So is Ada.
Oh, we got some good features on that track. Bye.